Good morning, class. My name is Luke, you can call me Lucky. Today is Tie Tuesday. Today, it's hard to see, but I'm wearing a kind of fruity tie. I call it fruity. It's not that fruity. It's brown and pink, which, if you ask me, is a terrible color combination. And truth be told, I never thought I'd use this color, but it's February, and it's nearing Valentine's. And so today I was wearing brown pants and a pink shirt, and it just matched the colors perfectly. And so I'm wearing this tie. I'll show you a better picture of it in post, but I don't really have a great name for this. I call it like the strawberry chocolate tie, because when I was a kid, my mom used to buy these chocolates, and they had all these assorted chocolates, and there was this one chocolate that was chocolate with strawberry cream inside, and I hated that one. God, I think fruits and chocolate never belong together. But that's besides the fact. Anyway, enough about my ties. I just had my bike impounded by the city. Now, speaking in the past perfect tense, because obviously you can see it now, I'm riding my bike. And look, I'd be lying if I said I wasn't a little frustrated by the fact that the city just up and stole my bike. And I think the thing that bothers me the most is that the reasoning is so obnoxious and pedantic that it just struck me that this must be a joke. Because the reason they took my bike after nearly a year of living here and parking my bike in the same spot every day, the reason they took my bike was because it was 100 centimeters off where it should have been. 100 centimeters. I want you to put your arm out and reach 100, not like that. Don't reach out like that. Just think 100 centimeters. It was off by that much. And the craziest part is, I actually agree with that. I don't agree that I had to pay some $20, $30 on that, because it was dumb and I shouldn't have to pay for that. If anything, I think this was all just an honest mistake on both sides. But as a whole, in principle, I agree with what they did. There's a philosophy, call it a philosophy, I don't know what the word is right now. There's a philosophy that you find in Japan when you come here as a visitor or an immigrant, or in whatever the case. When you come to Japan and you see the customer service, and you see the cleanliness of the streets, and you see all of these things that you think are just like, why isn't it like this where I'm from? And the reason for that is very simple. Like, the conveniences that everyone gets are found in the sacrifices of the inconveniences of everyone that gives it. There's probably a better way to put that, but so let's bring that back to my bike and the 100 centimeters. When I was in Canada, I didn't bike as often as I wanted to, because the streets were just cluttered with cars, right? And we don't have rules against sideways road parking and a maximum capacity of car ownership in any given property lot. It's very loose. You just do what you do, and if you're not doing something that's blatantly illegal, everyone's fine with that. And it's one of the liberties that I love about Canada. But it's also the reason why our streets are so dirty, and it's the reason why our infrastructure is so car dependent, and it's because of we lack regulation in that way. Japan, however, went the other way, didn't they? Because for 100 centimeters, 100 centimeters, they decided they were going to take my bike. The issue, in reality, in legality, in I was really hoping that there was a third word I could think of that rhymed. The real issue was that my bike was parked on city property. It was on the road, and the road was owned by the city. What should have happened was that my bike should have been parked on my apartment lot. And the apartment lot extends to that strange triangle edge of the corner in that picture. And like, again, you're looking at this picture and you're like, what's the difference? The difference is that Japan will enforce that. Even if it looks, whatever. It's not whatever to them, right? It's the same deal that you get when you're like, oh, I need to fill out my full name into this service form, but there's only a spot for my first and last name, and clearly not enough space to fit all 4 of my names. And it's the same reason that you need to you need to like get a Hankel stamp. You take that to the bank, and it's all of these small inconveniences to ensure that the system works as intended, even if the system kind of sucks sometimes. But in the grand scheme of things, it works. Because you know what? There aren't a ton of abandoned bikes everywhere. There isn't a huge glut and mess of cars parked where they shouldn't be. It's because of that enforcement. As inconvenient as it might be to me, when it happens, when I'm the one in the way, I actually benefit greatly from that system. And so, again, in principle, I agree with what happened. But that doesn't absolve my right to feel that. That's just such... Like, I'm not that upset about it. I'm not gonna swear about it. But it certainly shocked me and inconvenienced me quite a lot. But I got my bike now, and I'm not complaining. It is what it is. That's all for today's lesson. Take care, and I'll see you in the next lesson.